I'm sitting in a hospital room watching my daughter fight to breathe. All because I forgave my husband's affair to save our family. I forgave him. 3 years later, my daughter tried to kill herself because of that choice. They tell you forgiveness is strength. That marriage is work. That families stay together. Nobody tells you that staying can destroy your children. Nobody warns you that forgiveness has a price. Nobody mentions that your daughter might swallow a bottle of pills because you chose to save your marriage instead of protecting her. I'm in a hospital room right now. Emma is 14. She's alive. Barely. And it's my fault. My name is Sarah. I'm 41. Married to Michael for 18 years. 2 children, Emma, 14, and James, 11. 4 years ago, I found a text on Michael's phone. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you. Heart emoji. Kristen. 28. His coworker. 7 months. That's how long the affair lasted before I found out. I confronted him. He cried. Promised it was over. Begged for forgiveness. Said he'd made a terrible mistake. That she meant nothing. That I was everything. That our family was everything. He said he'd do anything. Quit his job. Go to therapy. Cut all contact. Anything. I told him to leave. Pack a bag. Get out. Don't come back until I decided what I was doing. He moved to his brother's place. Called me every day. Sometimes multiple times. Sent texts. Flowers. A 6-page handwritten letter about how sorry he was. For 2 weeks I was strong. For 2 weeks I was done. For 2 weeks I was the woman who was not going to tolerate this. Then fear crept in. Fear of being alone. Fear of disrupting my children's lives. Fear of starting over at 37. Fear of what people would say. Fear of admitting failure. Fear of the unknown. My mother called. Asked what I was going to do. Said Michael made a mistake, but everyone makes mistakes. Said I should think about the children. Think about what divorce would do to them. My sister called. Said she supported whatever I decided. Then asked if I was really going to throw away 18 years over one affair. My friends were split. Some said leave. Some said try. Everyone had an opinion. Nobody could tell me what was right. I saw a therapist. Dr. Patricia Chen. Infidelity specialist. I asked her what to do. She asked me what I wanted. I didn't want anything. I was terrified of everything. She said fear is a terrible reason to stay. She said if I stayed, it had to be because I believed the marriage could heal. Not because leaving felt impossible. I didn't believe the marriage could heal. But leaving felt impossible. So I stayed anyway. I called Michael. Told him he could come home. Under conditions. Complete transparency. No contact with Kristen. Change jobs. Couples therapy. Weekly. Earn back trust one day at a time. He agreed to everything. We told Emma and James that Mom and Dad were having problems but working on them. That everything would be okay. Emma looked at me carefully. Are you getting divorced? No, baby. We're going to fix this. She nodded. Went back to homework. That was the first lie I told her. The first of many. Year 1 after reconciliation was brutal. Michael did everything right. Quit his job. Started therapy. Gave me phone access. Came home on time. Was present. I did everything wrong. Checked his phone obsessively. Questioned everything. Replayed the affair in my head. Cried after sex. But slowly, things improved. The sharp edges dulled. We laughed again. I stopped checking his phone daily. By year's end, Dr. Chen said we should be proud. That rebuilding after infidelity was hard. That we were doing it. I believed her. I needed to believe her. Because if she was wrong, I'd wasted a year of my life. What I didn't see was Emma. What I completely, catastrophically failed to see was what was happening to my daughter while I was so focused on saving my marriage. She'd always been sensitive. Perceptive. Could read tension at age 5 better than most adults. She could sense when something was wrong before anyone said a word. When Michael and I fought before the affair, before I knew, Emma would appear afterward and ask if we were okay. She absorbed our moods like weather patterns. During year 1 of reconciliation, she changed. Became quieter. More withdrawn. Spent more time in her room with the door closed. Grades slipped from straight A's to B's. Quit soccer after 6 years. Stopped volunteering to answer questions in class. Her teachers noticed. I noticed. I told myself it was normal adolescent development. She was 13. Teenagers withdraw. Teenagers lose interest in activities. This was expected. I told myself to keep an eye on it. I told myself if it got worse, I'd do something. It got worse. I didn't do enough. Year 2, Emma's changes accelerated. She stopped seeing friends. They were annoying. Stopped talking about her day. Fine became her default answer to everything. Baggy clothes. Dark colors. Cut her hair short. Hours online in her room, door closed. I told myself it was normal. All teenagers live on their phones. Teacher emails started. Emma seemed distracted. Not turning in homework. Tired all the time. I had meetings. Told teachers we were working on it. Asked Emma what was wrong. Nothing. School was boring. She was fine. Always fine. Her pediatrician asked standard questions at her checkup. Any concerns? Emma said no. I shook my head. Doctor made a note. Said to call if anything changed. Michael and I argued about Emma sometimes. He thought I was overprotective. This was normal teenage stuff. If I relaxed, she would too. I couldn't explain that I wasn't projecting. I was responding to something real. But I didn't push hard enough. Didn't insist on therapy. Didn't take her phone. Didn't set boundaries. I was too tired. Too focused on my marriage. Too scared of being a helicopter parent. That was my second mistake. First was staying. Second was not protecting Emma from the fallout. Year 3, Michael and I were in a good place. New rhythms. Date nights. Planning a trip to Italy. I thought we'd made it through. Emma was increasingly unreachable. Almost entirely silent. One-word answers. Looking at her plate with an absent expression. I was worried. Genuinely worried. I asked my friend Anna for advice. She suggested family therapy. I suggested it to Michael. He said maybe we should talk to Emma first. Maybe we were making it a bigger deal than necessary. I wanted to believe him. I waited. Made an appointment with a family therapist for 3 weeks out. Soonest available. 2 weeks before that appointment, the school called. Could I come immediately? There'd been an incident. What kind of incident? Better to discuss in person. I drove to school with my heart in my throat. Emma was in the vice principal's office. Staring at the floor. Mrs. Rodriguez closed the door. Emma had been found in the bathroom. Cutting herself. Arms. Another student reported it. School nurse treated the cuts. Superficial but concerning. School policy required parent notification and mental health evaluation. I asked Emma if it was true. She nodded. How long? Few months. Why? She didn't know. It helped. Helped with what? Nothing. Everything. Could we just go home? We went home. Called Michael. He came immediately. We sat Emma down. Asked what was wrong. What we could do. If someone hurt her. No to everything. She was stressed. School was hard. Not a big deal. She promised not to do it again. Michael believed her. I didn't. I called the family therapist. Got emergency appointment next day. Emma didn't want to go. Michael said maybe let her process first. No. We were going. Not optional. Dr. Sarah Malik met with Emma alone first. Then us. Emma was struggling with severe anxiety and depression. Likely for a while. Escalating significantly in last 18 months. Any major family stressors? I looked at Michael. He looked at me. I told her about the affair. The reconciliation. She asked how much Emma knew. I said we told her we had problems but were working on them. Did Emma know about the affair specifically? No. We thought it would be too much. Dr. Malik's face did something complicated. Children often know more than parents think. They're perceptive to stress. Sometimes they internalize it harmfully. Emma needed weekly therapy. We needed to continue our work. This would be a process. We agreed. Started Emma in weekly sessions. I monitored her. Checked her arms. Took her phone at night. Tried to talk more. She remained silent. But she was showing up. I thought that was progress. I was wrong. 6 months into therapy, 4 months ago now, Emma started having nightmares. She'd wake up screaming. I'd run to her room. Find her crying, disoriented. What were they about? She couldn't remember. Just scary. Could I stay until she fell back asleep? I stayed. Night after night. Mentioned it to Dr. Malik. Nightmares are symptoms of anxiety and trauma. She was working on coping strategies. Be patient. Then Emma stopped eating properly. Picked at meals. Not hungry. Lost weight. Clothes hung differently. Face thinner. Made her favorite meals. She ate a few bites. Full. Stomach hurt sometimes. Back to pediatrician. Tests. Everything normal. Might be anxiety related. Follow up with therapist. I was scared. Truly scared. My daughter was cutting, having nightmares, not eating. Nobody could tell me why or how to fix it. Dr. Malik said progress. Emma said fine. Michael said give it time. I watched my daughter disappear. Felt completely powerless. 3 weeks ago. Tuesday afternoon. James called. Crying. Something was wrong with Emma. He'd come home from school. She'd stayed home sick. She wasn't waking up. He called 911. Please come home right now. I drove at dangerous speeds. Ambulance in the driveway when I arrived. Paramedics bringing Emma out on a stretcher. Unconscious. James on the lawn with a neighbor. Sobbing. I ran to the stretcher. Paramedics stopped me. Was I her mother? Yes. She'd taken pills. A lot of pills. Taking her to hospital. Follow them. Michael met me at ER. We sat for 3 hours while they pumped her stomach. Ran tests. Kept her alive. Doctor came out. She was stable. Okay physically. Admitting to psychiatric unit. Could see her soon. She was in a bed. Awake. Groggy. She looked at us. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did it. Everything felt too heavy. I'm tired of feeling scared all the time. I didn't want to die, not really. I just wanted everything to stop. I asked what she meant by scared. She looked at me. I'm scared you and Dad are going to split up. I'm scared it's going to happen again. I'm scared everything will fall apart and it'll be my fault for not being good enough to make you stay together. Michael and I stared. Michael said we weren't splitting up. We'd worked through everything. We were solid. Emma looked at him. That's what you said last time. Then I heard you and Mom fighting. Then Dad left. Mom cried every day. You said everything was fine but I knew it wasn't. Then Dad came back and you still said fine but I could tell you were pretending. I thought if I was perfect, if I was quiet, maybe you'd really fix things. But I can't do it anymore. I can't keep pretending. Eyes closed. Tear ran down her cheek. I just wanted everything to go back to normal. I just wanted us to be a family again. I reached for her hand. She let me take it. Didn't squeeze back. She just lay there. Eyes closed. Tears falling. I realized with horrifying clarity what I'd done. I'd stayed for my children. Forgave for my children. Worked on my marriage for my children. And broke my child. 3 weeks in psychiatric unit. Being released soon to outpatient program. Psychiatrist said severe anxiety and depression. Developing over years. Escalating in last 18 months. She internalized parental stress. Blamed herself. Developed maladaptive coping. Culminated in suicide attempt. Any major family stressors? I told him about the affair. Reconciliation. He nodded slowly. That would qualify. Was this our fault? Fault isn't helpful. But family stress affects children. Especially sensitive ones. In ways parents don't realize. Important thing now is support. Create safe, stable environment. How? Honestly. Transparency appropriate to age. No more pretending. Children need honesty more than perfection. I left that meeting. Sat in hospital parking lot. Called Anna. Told her everything. Sarah, you need to leave him. Not because of the affair. Because staying is killing your daughter. I'm sitting in a hospital room writing this while Emma sleeps. Michael's at home with James. We haven't spoken since Emma told us what she'd been carrying. Too much to say. None of it can be said here. But I know what I'm doing. I'm leaving. Not today. Not while Emma's hospitalized. But soon. As soon as she's stable. As soon as psychiatrist says it's safe. I'm leaving because what I tried to protect by staying, my family, my children's stability, has already been destroyed. Staying didn't protect it. Staying made it worse. Let me tell you what I've learned sitting in this hospital room. Children aren't as resilient as we tell ourselves. They don't bounce back from parental conflict. They absorb it. Internalize it. Carry it until they can't carry it anymore. Pretending everything's fine teaches children to pretend. Teaches them to perform happiness while falling apart. Teaches them their real feelings aren't acceptable. Teaches them to hide pain until it becomes unbearable. Forgiveness isn't always strength. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's avoidance. Sometimes it's the thing you choose because leaving feels harder. You can't save a marriage by sacrificing your children. Can't build stability on deception. Can't protect children from pain by staying in a situation causing pain. I was wrong. About everything. About forgiveness. About staying. About what my children needed. So wrong that my daughter almost died. Emma wakes. Looks at me in the chair beside her bed. What time is it? Almost midnight. Have I been here the whole time? Yes. Where's Dad? Home with James. She nods. Looks away. Long pause. Mom, are you mad at me? I move to the edge of her bed. Take her hand. Look at her directly. No, baby. I'm devastated you felt you had to do this. Horrified you've been carrying what you've been carrying. But I'm not mad at you. None of this is your fault. Do you understand? None of this is your fault. She starts crying. But if I'd just been stronger. If I could have handled it better. If I hadn't been so sensitive. No. I cut her off. You're not too sensitive. You're a human being with normal reactions to an abnormal situation. You're a child living in a house where adults weren't okay and nobody acknowledged it. That's not your fault. That's mine. What do you mean? Deep breath. The conversation I've been dreading. The honesty the psychiatrist said she needs. The truth I should have told years ago. 4 years ago, Dad had an affair. With a woman from work. I found out. It hurt badly. Dad and I separated briefly, then decided to try to work things out. Went to therapy. Tried to fix the marriage. I thought I was doing the right thing. Thought I was protecting you and James. Emma is very still. Processing. But you knew something was wrong. You felt it? Because we didn't talk about it, because we pretended everything was fine, you had no way to understand what you were feeling. You just knew adults weren't okay. You tried to fix it by being perfect. I let that happen because I was focused on saving my marriage. I didn't see what it was costing you. Tears falling steadily. I knew something happened. I knew Dad left. I knew you were sad. But nobody would tell me why. I thought it was because of me. I thought I'd done something wrong. You did nothing wrong. Not one thing. This was adult stuff we should have handled better. That I should have handled better. Are you going to get divorced now? The question I've been dreading. Me to answer honestly. I think so, yes. Not right away. Not until you're feeling better. But yes. Because staying together and pretending is not keeping our family together. It's hurting our family. It's hurting you. I'm not willing to do that anymore. She looks at me for a long moment. I think that's good. I think that's better than pretending. I think so too, baby. 2 days later, Emma's released. Comes home with new medications, weekly therapy, safety plan. Michael and I agree to maintain stability for now. No major changes until Emma's stronger. But we've also agreed, in a painful necessary conversation, that the marriage is over. We'll separate when appropriate. Tell children together when therapist says it's time. Co-parent with honesty and transparency. Stop pretending. Michael asks if there's any way to fix this. Save what we tried to rebuild. No. What we rebuilt was performance. That performance nearly killed our daughter. I forgive him for the affair. Forgave him years ago. But I don't forgive myself for staying. Need to leave to start fixing that. He cries. I don't. I have no tears left. 6 months later. I'm in my new apartment. Small. 2 bedrooms. One for me, one for kids when they stay. Emma and James split time. 50-50 custody. Worked out with lawyers, mediators, parenting coordinator. Expensive. Painful. Necessary. Emma's doing better. Not all better. Not cured. Still has hard days. Still therapy every week. Still medication. But eating again. Sleeping better. Hasn't cut in 4 months. Talking more. Starting to look like someone living instead of surviving. Last week she told me something. Mom, I'm glad you and Dad split up. I know that sounds bad. But living here with you, it feels more honest. Like I don't have to pretend anymore. Like I can just be upset or sad and it's okay. Doesn't sound bad. I understand. Honesty is hard but better than the alternative. She nodded. I'm sorry you had to choose. What do you mean? Between Dad and us. Between your marriage and your kids. I'm sorry you had to choose. I put my hand on her face. Baby, it wasn't a choice. Or shouldn't have been. You and James are not negotiable. Your safety and well-being are not negotiable. I should have figured that out 4 years ago. Should have left then. I didn't. I'm sorrier than I know how to say that you paid the price for that mistake. But you left eventually. You chose us eventually. I should have chosen you first. People ask if I regret forgiving Michael. If I wish I'd left right away when I found out. Answer is complicated. I don't regret that I tried. Don't regret believing forgiveness and reconciliation were possible. Don't regret giving my marriage a chance. What I regret is being so focused on saving my marriage that I lost sight of everything else. I regret not seeing what my choice to stay was doing to Emma. I regret prioritizing my fear of being alone over my daughter's mental health. I regret almost losing Emma because I was too scared to lose Michael. James is adjusting. Quieter than before. More cautious. Asks questions about why we split. We tell him truth, age appropriate. Sometimes adults make mistakes. Sometimes marriages don't work. None of it is his fault. He seems to accept. Seems relieved to have clarity. He tells me one day he knew something was wrong for a long time. House always felt tense. Could tell mom and dad weren't really happy even though we said we were. Feels better now. Even in two houses. Even though different. Feels more real. Real. That's the word both my children have used. We were so busy creating the appearance of stable family that we forgot what actual stable feels like. Honesty. Adults handling adult problems without requiring children to manage adult emotions. Kids being allowed to be kids. Michael and I are civil. Communicate about kids. Show up for school events. Do holidays separately. Haven't had personal conversation in months. I'm okay with that. He's part of my past. Father of my children. But not my future. I don't hate him. I did, for a while. Hated him for the affair. For putting me in position where I had to choose. For being part of what hurt Emma. But no energy for hate now. What I have is responsibility. To my children. Making sure they're okay. Making sure they know whatever happened between parents had nothing to do with them. That they're loved and valued and safe. Emma's therapist told me something recently. Emma's suicide attempt wasn't just about the affair or reconciliation. It was accumulation of years of stress and lack of safe space to process it. Children who live where truth is obscured internalize that obscurity is their fault. They think if they could figure out what's wrong, they could fix it. When they can't, they blame themselves. Best gift I can give Emma now is continued honesty. Even when hard. Even when it feels like too much. Because knowing truth, even painful truth, is better than living in uncertainty. I answer Emma's questions. All of them. Even hard ones. Even ones about the affair and why I stayed and why I left. As much truth as she can handle. She asked recently if I'm happy now. I'm not sure I know what happy means anymore. But I'm more at peace. More honest. More myself. That feels better than pretending to be happy while dying inside. She said that made sense. She thinks she's starting to feel that way too. I'm 41. Divorced 3 months. My daughter attempted suicide 6 months ago because I chose wrong. I chose to forgive when I should have chosen to leave. Chose my marriage over my instincts. Chose fear over action. My daughter paid the price. I can't undo that. Can't go back and make different choices. Can't erase scars on Emma's arms or trauma in her brain or months she spent wanting to die. What I can do is be different now. Choose differently now. Show my children it's never too late to tell truth. Never too late to leave a situation hurting you. Never too late to put them first. Some doors need to close. Some betrayals don't deserve forgiveness. Some marriages should end. I know that now. Wish I'd known it 4 years ago. Wish someone had told me staying wasn't noble. That forgiveness wasn't required. That leaving would have been braver. But nobody told me that. Everyone said try. Everyone said marriage is hard work. Everyone said forgiveness is strength. Everyone said think of the children. I thought of the children. Stayed for the children. And it almost killed my child. If you're reading this because someone betrayed you and you're trying to decide whether to stay or leave, please hear me. Forgiveness is not weakness. But neither is leaving. Staying is not strength. Not if staying means pretending. Not if staying means teaching your children to ignore their instincts. Not if staying means building your life on lies. Your children don't need you to be married. They need you to be honest. Present. Okay. And if you're not okay, they will know. Even if you think you're hiding it. They will know. And they will carry it. Don't make them carry it.